Welcome, everybody. Welcome, West. This is the Thursday, September 14th State of Play, the long-awaited thing that's going to blow all of our minds, and we're all going to leave here saying, so sorry, Sony, we were wrong. You didn't abandon PlayStation VR2. This isn't the next Vita /S. My name is Brian Politician right here. My friend over here, Wes Dillon from Virtual Strangers. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining me today.
Let's get ready for disappointment.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's dude, I was over on the official Sony State of Play live stream, and I was watching all the comments. Just, I mean, like, you have to be the Flash to read this shit in slow motion, fast enough to be able to see what's going on, and the things that people are expecting to see or just screaming in the chat. People are saying they're even more crazy than they are here, West. They're saying things like PlayStation 5 Pro, PS5 Slim, which is obviously showcase type stuff. I did see one person, shout out to Amber Booth, who said PSVR2 games, and I said, you're our people. What up, Amber Booth? So yeah, there's logical people over there, but they're just few and far between. Wes, with the PlayStation blog reading very specifically that today's broadcast will focus on updates to previously announced games upcoming to PlayStation consoles from indie and PSVR2 highlights, which is not a word I remember reading yesterday, to major upcoming titles from our third-party partners. Our latest show has something for everyone. What is your favorite color? What do you expect to see today?
What if I'm a person that only likes first-party AAA exclusives? Is there something for me? I don't think so.
No. And it does seem like there's a lot of those people out there. Like, it's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash.
Yeah, it's gonna be trash no matter what in a lot of people's eyes, because people like to trash our beloved Sony platform. But no, I think it'll be fine. I think we'll see at least one cool thing. We may see 2 or 3 cool things. Hopefully we'll see something really cool like Behemoth or Arizona Sunshine 2, maybe Resident Evil 4. I think those are all best case scenarios.
Yep.
But I think we'll see a lot of we'll see release dates for some of this horror stuff that's coming in October. Maybe Foglands, maybe Journey to Foundation. Definitely going to see Propagation, I think, today. Yeah, cool. I have tempered expectations. I think we'll see a few cool things, most likely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I am just happy anytime Sony talks about anything PlayStation VR2 related, I'm happy. Even if these are games that, again, as they've sort of implied, that they're just updates or maybe release dates or new trailers on things that we've already seen. I'm happy, man, because the more we talk about PlayStation VR2, the more they talk about PlayStation VR2, the more confidence I have in them as not only a first-party studio, but as a headset manufacturer. So today, I'm looking forward to today. I'm looking forward to whatever else they have to offer. Also, shout out to Miles, who's at the WASD convention today. He sat down with some awesome developers, and I think I just saw him in the dip. There he is. He's in the chat. He's with PlayStation Access. So shout out to PlayStation Access and everyone at WASD. I think you made an excellent point, Wes. I think best case scenario, you're right. Arizona Sunshine 2, which the more we hear about, the more impressive it sounds. Definitely excited to get anything else written by our good friend Rob Yescombe, who wrote Invisible Hours and Farpoint, and obviously Resident Evil 4. Those are best case scenarios. I think more likely candidates, the Foglands, which was debuted at a State of Play. Also debuted at a State of Play, I believe, during the Foundation. And I think I had one more on my list that seemed like a no-brainer, and that was, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, which we haven't really seen too much more about outside of some footage from a recent convention. Any other things that seem like common sense to you?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's possible they could show us a little bit more of Vertigo 2. There is new content coming to that game that they could focus on in like a new trailer or something. That seems to make some sense. I like what you said about lo-fi. We haven't seen anything from him in a while. I'm not exactly expecting that to happen, but it would be cool if it were to happen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope there's a surprise. I don't expect there will be any, though. I think it's going to be pretty cut and dry. Update: the obligatory seasonal state of play. It's time to have one, and they're doing it.
The Wolf Craze with $20 in the chat says, been 6 months, mostly ports, but excited for PlayStation IPs to make their entrance. I am too. I'm also excited for more AAA hybrids, which, again, I think will be a showcase type thing. And, man, if they show Resident Evil 4 today, I will be extremely happy, because I think if they show it today, that means release date is coming with it. I think that might be something you said on yesterday's show, though, so that's not an original thought by any stretch.
I said something similar. I didn't say exactly that, but I said something very similar to that.
Is there any chance that we could possibly be seeing a game that gets dropped today? Like it's one of those, and it's available right now in the PlayStation Store. They did that with Beat Saber, I believe, right?
Alvo. Oh, wait a minute. We already know about that one.
Yep.
No, I don't think so. Maybe, but no, I don't think so. I mean, is there something that we've been waiting? I mean, I guess propagation. I guess it could be propagation. We've been kind of waiting a little bit longer than we expected. They could drop that. I don't know how many headlines they would make with that, but certainly it's overdue at this point. So they could do a surprise drop, and it would make a little bit of sense for them to drop their game a couple of weeks ahead of all the other horror games that are coming. So maybe.
I believe, and I did think it was Wario64 on Twitter yesterday who said that this was going to be 27 minutes, I believe. I could have that number wrong. How much of that time do you think grand total will get on PSVR2? 5 minutes? Is that asking too much?
I think 5 minutes is the top end of it. It'll be 3 to 5 minutes probably altogether. I'm hoping that there's a few announcements spread out instead of like the VR minute. You know what I mean? Hopefully there'll be a trailer toward the front, another trailer or two in the middle somewhere, and then a nice one at the end. But yeah, again, that's just wishful thinking, most likely.
Greg Hodges in the chat with the $5 tip says, Journey to Foundation. Sony and Apple are tight. Apple Store sells PS5 controllers. Foundation series finale tomorrow. Apple event had PS5 games on iOS. That would be, hey, I mean, it's good to know that with Apple making their own moves in sort of the VR, AR, MR, XR space, that they've got allies with Sony. That would be it's good to know. Awesome Tatum in the chat with the $5 tip says, low expectations, but fingers crossed. Are we going to need a drink to celebrate or a pizza afterwards? Hopefully a pizza. Oh, a drink are we going to need a drink or celebrate with a pizza afterwards? I didn't realize that these were different things. I feel like you can celebrate with a drink and pizza. I feel like that's only fair. We've got 1 minute, Wes, so I'm going to head over to our full screen view here and make sure that we are on top of this.
Engelbert Wingeldank said Spider-Man 2 VR, which I didn't really want to highlight. I just wanted to say Dinglebert Wingeldank.
It's great. Dead Ringer the Game Cat with a $2 tip says $1 for each minute that PSVR2 is covered today. So he's saying 2 minutes. I love it.
There you go.
I will say that.
It's also,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk a little bit on Arizona Sunshine too. I did see some more impressions of it today on Twitter. Someone saying that it's like in the league with Half-Life Alyx, which is big words.
It's the exact words that I was hearing myself, and that is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy for people to say that.
All right. Just waiting for this to begin here. I want to make sure we don't screw anything up. Keep an eye on everything. Make sure that all my streams are working. Patience. It is 5 o'clock right now, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern, so it should be starting any Second.
There we go.
Here we go.
5 more minutes.
Oh, good. We have 5 minutes. That's good because I was concerned we didn't cover these lofty expectations enough.
Countdown to a countdown. It happens every time. We should remember this next time.
We should have known better. Is that what you're telling me?
Should have known better. Shout out Richard Marx.
Oh, damn. I was thinking the Beatles. Should have known better with a girl like you, that I would love everything that you do.
Well, yours is
I
a
do.
lot cooler than mine.
And I do. Love it. All right. Oh, we got some more tips here. Let's take care of this. Thank you for shutting me the fuck up. We got to do what we got to do here. Pietrek F with the 10 plantains says Horizon DLC with new mountains to climb. Dude, this is, I don't think, that far out of the realm of possibilities. I do think that, there was a certain level of disappointment from certain people saying that they didn't love Horizon. And I think that if there were more levels that focused more on combat and less about climbing, I think they could really turn the narrative on this game around. Obviously, I loved it for what it was, but certainly I can understand the other viewpoints on it. So I don't think that's a bad suggestion, Pietrek F.
I think a lot of people don't remember how good that game was. Like everybody, we had these preconceived notions about it that we were worried that it wasn't going to be as good as it was. Mm-hmm. When we got into the game, we had a lot of fun with it. But now, as time goes on, since we've played it, people are kind of moving back to what those preconceived notions were, and kind of, I think, blowing the issues with the game out of proportion compared to what they actually are or should be.
Yeah, I agree. When I went back in before our top 25 debate, just to replay it, it blew me away all over again. I was completely shocked that I in my head, it wasn't great. And then when I played it again, I was like, no, this is great. It's fantastic. Snafu with the $2 tip says Cyberpunk VR in time for the DLC dropping soon. Yeah, I just got that email today about DLC coming to Cyberpunk, and obviously I think we'd all love Cyberpunk in VR. That'd be amazing. I think that's asking a lot, but I think it'd be amazing.
They're telling people on PC to make sure that they update their cooling systems because it's so resource heavy that it might catch people's computers on fire.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey Wes, what's your countdown looking like? I'm at 2, 12, 11, 10, 9,
2, 1, 0.
Oh no.
59, 58, 57.
All right.
Do I need to pause? I do, don't I?
If you can pause for just 5 seconds to make sure that we're kind of around the same place. 55,
I'm gonna
54,
pause for 10.
53, 52, 51,
10,
50,
9, 8,
49,
7,
47,
6,
46,
5,
45,
4. Okay.
44.
44, 43,
Perfect. Okay,
42,
good.
41. All right.
It's always tough. AJ's a stickler about this kind of stuff because he's like, oh, I hate when you guys react before me or if I react before you. I was like, I do want to experience all of this with you guys together simultaneously. But if some people are seeing it 5 seconds ahead of us, I'm not going to complain too much. Let's see who else we got here in the chat. We got here. I could actually copy and paste this one so I can read it properly. This is Major T with the 5 quid says, just remember folks, Sony has clearly stated no first party games and only updates for games already announced. Don't get too hyped. Yep, that is 100% what we said all day yesterday and hopefully what we made very clear when we started it today. Do not get too excited, but again, Sony's talking about PSVR2, which is something they don't do altogether too often outside of the PlayStation blog. So I'm excited just because this is happening. Yes, sir.
Pim Fandango in the chat says, Overdark, a do not open story appearing in the PS Store. Which I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't checked today, but what I can say is that Eric played Overdark at Gamescom and was very impressed with it.
Nice. You know the story behind that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I'm very happy to hear that he was impressed with that. Hopefully the gameplay mechanics all make sense for VR because obviously do not open didn't make sense with VR. It was the most anti-VR game I've ever played. You required pen and paper to get through some of the puzzles. So, here we go.
Here we
Let's
go.
see someone turn this shit up.
Hell yeah. Thumbs up if you like mature content.
What's up, pajama boy?
Gross.
Definitely looks like a VR game.
Okay. No problem.
Everybody set your expectations right now
Well,
for the rest of this show.
yeah, that might be a problem. Okay.
What a way to kick it off. Set the tone, huh?
Is this Lester the Unlikely?
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks.
This looks like a game of Unity dev who just moved to Unreal Engine.
All right.
Tried to make.
Post.
I thought this was a game that was exemplifying in video game format Sony's
Okay,
marketing strategy for everything they've done over the last 2 years.
Oh, God damn it.
Nate, are you okay? You look sad.
Oh, hey, Mike. No, that's sad. I was just taking a break from my run. So road's out.
Yeah, road's out, but no worries. Grapple point.
Grapple point. Oh, just grapple. I'll grapple it.
Yeah, just grapple with a grappling hook.
Oh, yeah, I'll just grapple that fucker with my grappling hook.
Yeah, no worries. Just grapple that fucker.
I'll just grapple that fucker.
Yeah, good.
I am in
All right.
complete shock right
Well,
now.
Salada.
Oh, Salada. Yeah, all right. I'll just pull out my grappling hook. Well, I don't know where.
Is that Dan Harmon game, maybe?
Do you remember the cartoon on YouTube
bad.
from 12 years ago?
All right.
Batman and Spider-Man, best friends?
Maybe not.
Okay. This seems like a game like based on that.
Hi, I'm Sean Benson. Here at PlayStation, our team is always on the lookout for creative, inspiring, and original games to bring to PlayStation players around the world. We are constantly canvassing game development studios as we search for the next exciting idea. And as you just saw, Baby Steps is a great example of the innovative spirit that we're looking for. In today's State of Play, we've got a wide variety of games to share with you. My hope is that these demonstrate the diversity of experiences coming to PlayStation consoles and PSVR2. On that note, I'm very excited to welcome PlayStation players to Roblox. This infinite variety of 3D immersive experiences is making the jump to PS4 on October 10th. Roblox features full cross-platform support, so you can join 66 million daily active users across PC, mobile, and other platforms. We can't wait for you to explore millions of experiences together and to see what you create. All right, let's dive in, starting with a look at 2 great games coming to PlayStation VR 2.
I should stop calling her Shawnee Benson, apparently. Her name's Sean. Oops.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Ghostbusters. You might be new here, but we have a job to get done. This city isn't going to save itself. So get geared up and join the team, because working together
Don't be the part.
will give you the best chance.
We got this.
Luckily, you'll have access to the latest ghost-busting gadgets, if you can earn them. We're talking turrets, shields, decoys, and so much more.
Throw your trap. Wow. Light him up.
I'm picking up something.
Whoa. Watch out.
You'll need to be ready for anything
Here he comes.
before you'll be ready to take on the Ghost Lord.
Ghostbusters, rise devices of the Ghost Lord.
Oh yeah, and these guys, mini puffs, they can be a real pain in the...
Awesome. Dude, it looks
October
great.
26th.
Yep.
Well, look at that.
Is this Overdark?
No fucking way.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Here we go.
Think you can swallow me whole, huh?
Dude. I was so thinking that it wouldn't be here that when they showed a horror game, I was like, there's no way it's got to be Overdark or something.
Coming this year, huh?
This year's fucking crazy. I would have put money against that.
This is Condor 1. President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
I'm seeing increased movement from Los Eliminados. Don't get careless.
Copy. Ada out. What terrible actions will be done in its name? And who will pay its dark cost?
Find Lewis. Fetch me the amber.
We thought it would be next year.
Have you changed?
But we were wrong.
Or are you just trying to use me again?
The chat's making an excellent point. It said winter, right? And so that could be easily next year.
Who needs me?
Come on, dude.
Best not to ask who or why.
I said we were
For all
wrong.
these years, Ada. I see the symptoms already showing in your eyes.
We were wrong.
No word on DLC being VR compatible. No surprises.
Wow.
But
Most of the mercenaries. Okay.
yeah. That's awesome news, though. Like, what a great start. If that's all we get
Yeah.
for PSVR2, it's like, hey, what a great day.
Agreed. 2 huge titles.
Ghostbusters looks good too. Like better than I thought it would.
Looks like it could be good. Sure.
I am Nutby.
Now, you are what I made you!
I was abducted by the RDA and trained in their ways. For 15 years, they kept me from my world and my people.
Wait. You have the mark. You are Sorrento. The poor child knows nothing of our ways. Let Home Tree be a refuge from your burdens.
I must seek those who can teach me the ways of the Nutby and help me reconnect with my world.
Follow me!
I won't hurt you.
What's the likelihood that that's it for PSVR2? Do you think that they'll show any other games for it during the rest of the stream, or will we see even a single hybrid? Any chance of that?
Oh, I think Resident Evil 4 was our hybrid. But, I don't know. I would call it 50-50, honestly, because we have so many outstanding release dates at this point. I mean, maybe they'll follow up with a blog post or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm hoping we see at least one more big game, that because the hybrid strategy has been talked about in Village and Resident Evil 4 are great examples of it. Gran Turismo 7 is a great example of it. One more would really drive the point home, I think.
Well, they must be coming out with Resident Evil 9 next year, Brian. That's why they're pushing 4 out so quick.
That would work for me. As long as 9 has VR support, man, fucking keep them coming. I'll take annualization of that shit.
For sure.
Dude, as somebody who didn't like Avatar, I absolutely despised the new movie. It was 4 hours of boredom. This game looks good.
We need him, Connor.
The worlds look good for sure.
We need him stronger. Faster. Better equipped.
This Ghost Runner 2? This is Ghost Runner 2, I bet. Dude, this is one of my favorite VR mods I ever played. Was the original Ghost Runner with just a gamepad. It was so fun.
We need him ready.
It's out in October as well.
Macho's yelling at me to do a poll, but I don't know for what.
Well, we have new controller skins, Brian.
I mean, yay! That's not. I have a second pair of Sense controllers now. Give me skins for that shit. Give me stickers I can put on them or something.
Around.
I don't know.
I wonder how long Sony thinks that they're going to be able to maintain their brand worship without giving people the big budget games that they expect.
I mean, how long do you think they can keep paying 23 first-party AAA studios for without releasing the games that those studios have made?
I know, right?
That's the bigger question.
Well, that said PlayStation Studios on it, actually. What are we looking at here?
Well, let's turn it up. Helldivers 2.
CEO and creative director at Arrowhead Game Studios. And today I'm pleased to share an extended look at Helldivers 2. We're starting on the ship's bridge, preparing to select our mission from the galactic war map. Once cleared for mission engagement, it's time to go into your Hellpod and prepare for planetfall. Today we join a squad on one of the many planets in the galaxy, set on an important mission to eliminate a deadly bile titan.
This already looks better than No Man's Sky.
Okay, we need to find the determined bile titan.
I think it's this way.
But I agree.
There's some enemies here.
Okay, I'm covering you on the right.
We're covering your rear. Oh, there's loads of them. I'm switching to flamethrower. Oh god!
All right, Macho, your poll is up in the chat. Make sure everybody votes. Will there be any more PSVR 2 announcements during today's State of Play? Yes or no? And that does include hybrids, obviously.
Your poll is up, says Brian
Can
Paul.
you guys take him out with the recoilless?
You know who else? Forget it.
My recoilless.
On it. I got enemies on my back as well. Oh, there's a charger here.
I'm gonna take out the brood commander.
He's charging me.
We take out the charger with a recoilless.
Alright.
Bar point.
Reload way.
Nice. I'm gonna thin out the crowd a little bit.
There are a lot of them coming. My guard dog is taking care of the little ones. Oh!
I'm throwing out the strafing runs, try to take out the small guys.
Oh no, you killed me!
Oh.
Oh no, you killed me. I love this big chatter. It's so scripted.
Okay, should we do something?
It's weird that we've had 2 multiplayer games today that have real life like game chat in it. Something we don't often see.
I've already forgotten what else they've shown. What was the other one?
It was Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Ghostbusters
Jesus.
had real life chat in it.
Dude, I need. Are there drugs for brain repair? Because I think I need drugs for brain repair.
Alpha Brain. Get it direct from Joe Rogan.
Giving them the edge in the many battles to come. I hope you enjoyed seeing a glimpse of just one of the many missions and planets the game has to offer. Now go out there and spread managed democracy.
Macho in the chat. Macho. said with the $5 tip, says I'm so hyped for Helldivers 2. Brian, yeah. Then he told me what the poll was. Good to see hype for Helldivers.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
It's not all third party, is it?
Nope.
This is Brian Intihar, Senior Creative Director at Insomniac Games. Thank
Did
you
they
for all
lie
of
to
your
people, or
amazing
did we
feedback
read it
toward demo at
wrong?
the showcase earlier this year.
There was room for interpretation, but we've learned not to go too deep into interpretation, right? Because then we just disappoint ourselves. Also, I think they had to show more Spider-Man 2 because the last part they showed looked kind of boring with all QuickTime events. So I think they needed to show some actual gameplay stuff.
And we've introduced the web wings, an entirely new mechanic that, when combined with web swinging, allows you to traverse the city in a whole new way and at faster speeds than ever before. Whether it's the neighborhood backdrop of Queens or the fireworks that light up the sky over Coney Island, exploring these areas will feel much different than the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan, while also delivering memorable locales like Peter Parker's old stomping grounds in Midtown High and Miles Morales' current place of learning, Brooklyn Visions Academy.
Hey Miles, what's up?
Speaking of our heroes, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will introduce the ability to switch between the two wall crawlers in the open world. And, thanks to the power of the PlayStation 5, you can make that switch almost instantly. Delivering a bigger city and playing as not one, but two spider heroes were big goals for Marvel Spider-Man 2. But this time around, it was equally important to provide a greater sense of exploration and discovery. As you progress through the main story, a number of new activities and storylines will become available. The majority of those will now be represented by visual cues in the world that grab your attention, such as a flock of Kraven's Talon drones circling a building, a mysterious symbol projected into the sky, or even an unfamiliar spider-bot ping emitting from one of the rooftops. Many activities, like the Hunter's cloaked blinds that overlook the Big Apple, lead to even greater challenges yet yield worthy rewards and new information about Marvel's greatest hunter, Kraven. Others will lead to a climactic showdown with Marvel villains not yet seen in the Spider-Man universe. The Spider Heroes have new AR tech in the lenses of their masks, providing a quick glimpse of activities already discovered, or helping locate new ones yet to be revealed. You can always refer to the upgraded Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app.
All right, man, all bets are off. Now that we're seeing first-party stuff, what other first-party shit could we see?
I know, right? My Astrobot game, let's go.
Hell yeah, Astrobot Remastered, let's do it.
Specific hero. All these activities, including crimes you stop from the game's various enemy factions, also now feed into the new District Progress system, which even provides more rewards and unlocks our brand new fast travel system. As you can New York, we look forward to seeing you swinging around in Marvel Spider-Man 2 when it launches October 20th, only on PlayStation 5.
That was nice. A little first party shit to kind of like add a little impact to this state of play. I'm happy with that.
Me too. More branding. Beautiful.
1 year has passed since the end of the great conflict between Dana and Rena. And so, our journey continues.
There she is! Don't let her get away! After her!
The gang's all here.
The hell she did? She's a monster!
The truth is that people will always doubt, hate, and reject. All differences must be erased. Once there are no differences, there will be...
The chat will hate me for saying this, but I am so bored of Tales games.
I'm bored of this whole genre, man. I'm sick of watching trailers from
What
it.
we call destiny is neither visible nor tangible, yet it is as certain as the collapsing and converging of the past and present. I called out to you and you came. The future is like a labyrinth. Every divergence is merely an inducement. There is only one real path.
All right, I guess I can probably end this poll now. Let's check out the results. Will there be any more PSVR2 announcements on today's show? 46% of you said yes. I love the optimism, but I think the 54% is correct. So let's end that poll. Thank you, everybody, for voting. Let's turn this back up.
I hope you're all ready for the Foamstars Open Beta Party!
Oh no, not again.
Hey, I mean, at least they're smart enough to have an open beta to make sure that it launches without any serious problems for 2 weeks.
Use foam and knock out the opposition! 2 insanely fun game modes! Smash the star! Defeat the star player to win! Happy Bab Survival! Dominate the arena in teams of 2 with support from your allies on the outside. Eight unique characters hit the stage. Soa!
So unique.
Agito! Tonics! Jet Justice!
Yeah, I mean, they all look like Fortnite characters. It's just kind of like sort of generic art style that all games have adopted in the last 8 to 10 years.
Looks like Smash Bros.
It does have kind of a Smash Bros look. Yeah.
We'll see you at the Foamstars Open Beta Party!
I think we got about 3 or 4 minutes left here.
We've been having a blast with Foamstars, and we can't wait for you to get your hands on it. The open beta kicks off later this month. Before we wrap up, Square Enix has one more update for us today. They're hard at work on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the ambitious follow-up to the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's see what's in store for one of next year's most anticipated games.
The world's ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
This sky, I don't like it.
Ready to fire, sir.
Welcome to the New World Order. Fire!
Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters?
10-year-old me would have loved this.
So this falls into the same kind of category as like traditional JRPGs for you? Like even the action RPG genre you're kind of done with, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again though, I was pretty much done with all gaming until VR got my interest again. So I don't know. I mean, if I could play something like this in VR, it might appeal to me a bit more.
Yeah, I am 100% with you. I mean, I don't really have time for 50-hour RPGs anymore, but
right,
you know, but yeah, I would absolutely love if I got something like this in VR. I think I would find the time for it. So. But yeah, JRPGs were my jam back in the PS1 era for sure. PS1, PS2.
You might dig Ruins Megas next week. It's obviously not anywhere near like a Final Fantasy game, but it's got a lot of this flavor to it, you know.
Even if it gives me a taste of, you know, old school JRPG stylings, I'll be down. Yep. Ooh, Chocobo Racing.
Excuse me. Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, set only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
All right. I wonder if that's it.
That is it. It's coming on 2 discs, just like the old Final Fantasy VII.
Wasn't that 3 discs? It's crazy.
We hope you enjoyed that new look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's coming to PlayStation 5 on February 29th. And that's all for State of Play. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sean. All right.
So that was way more like typical than I expected it to be. Like, I didn't expect for there to be Resident Evil 4, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy, which is weird because there's always Resident Evil, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, those bigger titles seem like showcase titles, so it was nice that they kind of spruced up the entire thing with them. I saw Rachel in the chat say that the PlayStation blog was updating as the State of Play was going live, so I think it's maybe time for us to investigate that a little bit. Here, let me. It's good though. I mean, dude, I will say that I wasn't expecting really anything, and seeing some new gameplay footage for Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, and seeing new footage for Resident Evil 4 VR with new gameplay and at least a release window of winter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So winter, somebody was saying winter begins like near middle of December. And so just knowing that it's like, either going to come out the very end of this year, the very beginning of next year, that's all I need, because there was a good part of me that was like, this could easily be pushed further into 2024.
I guess that is a good point. They didn't say Q4, did they? They said winter.
Yeah. All right. So let's, here, I'm going to head on over to the PlayStation blog. How about this? And do this. And do this. Is that what we're looking for? That's what we're looking for. Awesome.
Come on, Baby Steps VR. Oh, never mind.
Love it.
Looks like we got an article on Rise of the Ghost Lord.
Nice. Let's hit up Resident Evil 4 first, only because I brought that one up already. I can get Ghost Lord.
I didn't see that one.
Okay. So this is from the promotion producer over at Capcom. It says, "Hello PlayStation, I'm Evan Edso, promotional producer of Resident Evil 4. In today's State of Play, we released the latest gameplay trailer for Resident Evil 4 VR mode, as well as the long-awaited additional story DLC Separate Ways. Check out the latest trailer to see what to expect, and be sure to watch through to the end." Okay. Oh, sorry, sirens on my end. Where is the VR stuff? Do you talk about additional story DLC, Separate Ways? They're not mentioning VR in any of this, obviously. Here we go.
It's on down.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4, thank you. Resident Evil 4 VR mode for PSVR2 coming this winter as free DLC. VR mode allows you to experience the entire story mode of the base game on PlayStation VR2. Watch the trailer for a glimpse of gameplay and action that has evolved with the VR adaptation. Take on the role of Leon S. Kennedy in this terrifying and harrowing rescue mission in the ultimate immersive survival horror experience. Please note that Separate Ways and the Mercenaries are not compatible with the Resident Evil 4 VR mode DLC. So do we need to... Okay, good. Resident Evil 4 is a reimagined version of the original 2005 game, preserving the essence of the game while bringing it to life with state-of-the-art graphics. Now you can immerse yourself in the world of RE4 and enjoy it to its fullest with Resident Evil 4 VR mode. Using the PlayStation VR2 headset, you can enjoy a 360-degree view of the game's elaborate stages, discover details of the game that you may not have seen before in areas such as the Dark Forest, villages with the Ganado, and the ancient castle of awe-inspiring beauty. The 3D audio will further enhance your immersion. Dude, this is saying a lot of words without actually saying anything. The development team previously worked on PSVR titles like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil Village VR mode. With the knowledge gained from these titles, there we go, we are now able to create an even more enhanced VR experience when playing as Leon S. Kennedy. The game features a wide variety of weapons, and the team focused on adapting them all to VR for an intuitive VR experience, from the way the weapons are held and reloaded to the easy-to-understand input and haptic feedback of the sense controllers. Players will be able to feel each unique characteristic of the handguns, submachine guns, rifles, knives, and more. Experience the immersion and the weapons in the game as if you were actually Leon on his mission of rescue and survival. I can't believe this is still going on. RE4 introduced you to the game's enhanced knife action. Naturally, we took that experience and enhanced it for VR in Resident Evil 4 VR mode. Swing your knife down at the right time to parry, sneak up on unseen enemies, and strike for a sneak takedown, and more. You can also now fight with a knife in both hands. Boxes, crates contain items that can be destroyed in VR using your knife or other weapons, or with a simple one-button command. That's pretty much it. This winter, they did not specify exactly when.
This winter.
Yeah, I mean, so it is interesting that they kind of mentioned that here's the same team that brought Resident Evil Village into VR, that brought Resident Evil 7 into VR, and now they're looking to take things a step further with Resident Evil 4. Because my question was, like, I wonder if this is going to feel exactly like Village, or if they've actually learned anything since starting work on PSVR2 games, and if we'll actually benefit from that with this game.
I think we'll see modest advancement in it. I do think it will be a slightly better game than Village was in terms of VR implementation, but I think it will be very similar.
I think so too. Especially for something that is basically a free update for people. Here, real quick, before we get into the Ghostbusters story, let me make sure that let's get caught up on some of these tips, man. Let's see. Before the show even started, we had Ezion with the 5 quid saying, looking forward to some good commentary. Thanks in advance, Brian. Expectations are actually low, but let's see. Hopefully your expectations were met if they were low. Magic the Game Cat with the €5 says 3 release dates. We don't know, and I'm satisfied. Too much backlog to get caught up on. P.S. Love you guys. We love you too, Magic. Thank you so much for being here. Danishing Act with the level 2 membership says, hype demolished. This isn't Grand Theft Auto 8 at all. Michael Grant with the $2 says, I feel like Avatar will eventually be a VR hybrid. I think that would be perfect. We got Macho here telling me to do a poll. We also got Macho with the $2 tip says, honestly, we got Spider-Man in Resident Evil 4. I'm a happy dog, or I'm happy dog. Or maybe he's a happy dog. I don't know. Game cat, game dog. I don't know, man. I can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy. All right, so let's get into this Rise of the Ghost Lord. Hopefully it's not nearly as wordy and actually reveals some more information than that last article did.
I can already tell this one's got more.
All right, good. Well, this is Nathan Basley from the game director from Endream says, we're excited to debut our first trailer for Ghostbusters. Is that true? I feel like we saw a trailer for Rise of the Ghost Lord. Featuring
a couple. Oh, featuring the PSVR2 gameplay.
I should have finished the sentence before complaining. Featuring PSVR2 gameplay. The game launches October 26th and is now available for pre-order. Check out the new gameplay below and read on for some highlights about how we've utilized PSVR2 unique capabilities to truly immerse players in the Ghostbusters universe. Then, for an extra treat, you can watch a roundtable interview with me and some of my team from Endreams that goes into greater detail about the game. It sounds like there's a video here that's going to be worth watching. That's separate from what we saw on State of Play. If you'll excuse the pun, Ghostbusters is a supernatural fit for cooperative multiplayer VR. Ghostbusters is all about teamworking. Ghostbusting is all about teamwork. There's no Ghostbusters movie about one person taking on the paranormal by themselves, and there's nothing like wielding the iconic equipment together as you get up close and personal with angry ghosts. Add into the mix a new story, new location, new equipment, and a new cast, and we have the recipe for the ultimate Ghostbusters experience in VR. Here we go. We got some PSVR2 features talked about here. This is called Keep an Eye on Your Friends with Eye Tracking. Eye tracking on PSVR. Excuse me. Eye tracking on PSVR2 is a game changer when it comes to accuracy and ease of use. We had first-hand experience with the power of eye tracking in our game Synapse, which released earlier this year. As you'd expect, we've implemented it here too as an option for menu navigation, as well as making it intuitive to grab objects from a distance. However, it's been most transformative in our cooperative game when it comes to communication, like seeing where your teammates are looking, as well as sharing a wink or two. Ooh, sexy time, Wes. Sexy time. It's uncanny how easy it is to recognize a friend from the real world by their avatar's mannerisms. The PSVR 2's graphical capabilities help us deliver on emotional tones, such as feeling a sense of dread and unease going into a dimly lit, dark basement that might be hiding all manner of nasties. That is, until you unleash your particle thrower and it suddenly fills the room with light. The PS5's power also enables a number of ethereal ghosts effects that evoke the movies. It makes it especially rewarding when they are flying right at and through you. Speaking of ghosts flying through you, as they're known to do, you can feel it viscerally thanks to the PSVR 2's headset haptics. The degrees of haptics we can tap into allows us to use it in several ways, from subtly cueing players when there's something afoot, like a spidey sense, Wes, to more shocking effects from our scariest ghost. The PSVR 2 Sense controller's adaptive triggers enhance the sense of presence and were particularly effective in bringing the authentic ghost-busting gear to life, from the PKE meter and proton wand to the brand new muon trap thrower. I particularly love priming the proton wand with a partial press before the satisfying click to unleash a blast of positively charged subatomic particles. There's a lot of fucking information here. The adaptive triggers come to life when it comes to squishing mini puffs. These little critters like to wreak havoc on you and your gear during the most inopportune times. Luckily, you can help your buddies out, picking them off and giving them a satisfying squish in VR. I believe we're the first game where you can squeeze a marshmallow. It doesn't look like there's any more information here for the last concluding paragraph. What I find surprising about this entire article, Wes, is that they didn't address any of my questions about the moment-to-moment gameplay loop. Like, we still don't know what this game is. Like, we know it's 4 players and you go out and you bust ghosts, but like, what's the gameplay loop? Is it after the fall but good? What is it?
I think it's going to be after the fall-esque, but I do think that you will have story bits that kind of tie the missions together, versus after the fall that has none of that. Obviously, there's a big bad at the end, so there's a boss fight. It's going to have a lot of the stuff that we said after the fall needed to have. I feel like I don't know if it's going to have nearly as much content as after the fall. Really, my whole I'm pretty excited for this game, and I'm much more excited now knowing that we're going to get a PSVR 2 enhanced version of it. Like, we're not going to get a straight quest port. That's pretty awesome to have confirmation of. Really, my only real concern with it is replayability. It's a co-op game that's obviously geared toward replayability. I don't know yet if there's going to be enough here to keeps me coming back to it after, myself and my friends have completed the campaign, so to speak.
Right.
But I'm much more excited for it now, having read this article, than I was, yesterday. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Endreams has learned a lot about doing more with the limited amount of limited amount of assets, limited amount of, because with Frack they said, hey, we've got this game, and they just made it a straightforward campaign and said, okay, well that's the end of it. When you get to the end, they slowed you down a little bit by creating kind of wave shootery moments and to kind of pad the gameplay a little bit. But still, at the end of the deal, it was like 2 hours, and we're like, damn, that's crazy short. But then with Fracked, I feel like we got somehow even less content, but they were able to repurpose it over and over into a roguelite and allow us to kind of replay these segments and give us a reason to do so. Hopefully, Ghostbusters is the kind of the culmination of everything that they've learned, and learn like really how to reuse environments over and over and over and over until and give us and keep us wanting to come back to it over and over. And of course, I've got my own way that I think this game should play out. I've talked about it a million times over the course of the last year, and hopefully it's somewhat close to that, because I don't know how else you can really make a super replayable multiplayer Ghostbusters game, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do.
So what they could do, if they wanted to make this thing replayable, they could have a wide variety of enemy types, different ghosts and goblins and such. And then after you play through the campaign, as you're revisiting the missions, a la carte, so to speak, to replay them for fun, if they could randomize the ghosts that you're finding in the different maps and kind of have a different sort of progression on like a new game plus or maybe a different game mode, there's potential here. I definitely think it's going to be better than the Ghostbusters game in Dreams, so that's a plus.
Yeah. That's a pretty low bar. I mean, the Dreams game was, a fun little 2-second experience, but it was all right. Yeah. Yeah. Good to see PSVR2 footage. I'm assuming this is PSVR2 footage. That's what they called it in the blog post. Yeah. And I think it looks clean. It doesn't look, obviously we knew it wasn't going to be realistic styled. We knew it was going to be cartoony. But I think they have a good looking style going on here. I think it's a good looking game. And if they can make this crisp and clear and hopefully, with something like this, even with the added effects, still, of course, it being a game that also runs on Quest 2, I really hope that Albo set this new standard where we can say, hey, we should have an option, if it's not already there, to play this 90 FPS native. It's a Quest 2 game. It's a game that runs on Quest 2. Throw some nice effects on there, some nice shadows, and then let us run it at 90 FPS native.
That's true, but I do have to say that the reprojection in Synapse was barely noticeable.
Also agreed.
You have to look for it.
I'm still curious to know if that's from the graphical style, from the black and white stuff or not. But either way, I agree with you 100%. The reprojection in Synapse was barely noticeable. I like the look of this trailer. This is good. And then we get the Resident Evil 4 stuff. That is good. I'm happy with what happened today. You happy, Wes? Ranking from 1 to 10?
Yeah, man.
How happy are you with what we just saw?
8.5. I'm good, man. It's a good, solid, above average state of play from a VR perspective. We didn't get a lot. There wasn't a lot of quantity, but there was quality. These are big titles for VR. These are titles that hypothetically will get traditional gamers interested in VR. And that's really all we can ask for.
That might be all we can ask for. All right, man. We had a couple games come out today. Just to kind of give everybody the heads up here real quick. I believe we had Down and Out come out today. We had Behind the Frame come out. We had Albo. And so if you guys are interested in kind of our impressions on that, make sure you tune to Gamescast Live tomorrow. As you guys know, I've been sick for the last almost week. So I'm playing catch up right now. I'm working on an Albo review. Hopefully I'll find time over the course of the next few days to do a review for Down and Out in these games. Short stories, don't buy Down and Out. And I'll double check Behind the Frame, because the earlier version I played was kind of broken, but hopefully the new patch fixed it. But Albo's pretty good.
I'll hold off on playing either of those until you tell me that they're worth playing.
Yeah. Down and Out's silly, man. It's silly. They call it an open world, but all it means is that they just made one small corner of a city that's smaller than most regular games' full levels.
Hey, I don't mind the concept for a game. Bum fights in VR, sign me up. It just looks janky and not very fun.
That is the problem with it. Yeah, I don't care. The concept doesn't bother me. It's not even really bum fights anymore. I think they've changed it where you just walk around and you just start fights. I don't know. The fighting mechanics are terrible. It's cool because, dude, okay, just real quick here. I got into a fight with somebody, and I was punching them, and you just have to really kind of patiently wait until it's your turn to punch, and just I don't know. I don't think it feels like it's impossible to lose. You can only punch him in the face, as far as I can tell. And as soon as I was about to knock this guy out, I heard somebody yell, "Stop!" And I looked over, and there was a policeman running after me. And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I knocked the dude out, and I ran. And I was running away from the cop, and I saw a bicycle. And I said, "Oh, cool!" So I grabbed the handles of the bicycle, and I was like, "No way! Can I really get on this thing and start riding away?" And I could. Right, and I was steering with my hands and using the analog stick to accelerate, and it was cool because I was riding across the city. And then I get to the other side of the city, which is like literally over there.
Right.
And then there was nothing else to do. There's like some mini games and shit. So I'm like, it's like, oh man, there's nothing else to ride other than a bicycle. Like there's cars everywhere, and I was like, oh, can I Grand Theft Auto it from from this point to that point? It was bad, man. It was bad.
We need our GTA VR. Come on, guys. We need this.
Oh man. Okay. In the chat we got Get in My Belly Game Cat Wilkins with the $20 tip, says, can't wait for my inevitable disappointment, but hopeful as always. I think maybe he just got here. You have to rewind and watch the show. It wasn't that bad, Wilkins. It was good. Macho, the real estate procrastinating game cat with the $2 tip, says 8, but why would Hellsweeper not come and steal the show? Didn't we see Hellsweeper on the last State of Play?
We've seen a lot of Hellsweeper. Every event for the last 6 months has had Hellsweeper on it.
Right. And even,
everyone knows that's awesome.
The meta events too. Yeah. There's so many things that they could have shown. They could have shown a bunch of games that are coming out in October. But I feel like
Propagation promised some kind of an announcement today. I was really expecting it to be this, but I guess not.
Oh, they gave us a release date. Wasn't that enough?
Oh, did they? I wasn't aware.
Sorry, release window of, I think, just October.
Oh, really? Surprise.
Well, so it's funny because the last time I had heard anything from WannaDev Studio about Propagation, they had said it's going to take a couple more months. And I was like, oh, it seems like they're just going to miss October. Like it seemed like it was like, oh, November, maybe December. So getting it in October is earlier than I expected them to get it out. However, dude, I've never seen an October flooded with so many fucking horror games in my life. So it's going to be a good time for Without Parole. It's going to be a good time for me. But man, it's going to be a busy month.
It's going to be tough. Yeah. It's going to be tough because I want to go back to PSVR 1. Like I haven't picked my PSVR 1 headset up since February. So like I want to do my Here They Lie playthrough that I do every year, and Resident Evil 7 and some Rush of Blood. Like I was planning on doing all of that stuff, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to find time for it.
I can't imagine you're going to get back to PSVR 1 this October.
I'm definitely. I'll definitely do my Here They Lie thing. Like I love that game too much not to play it once a year.
All right, it's fair. That's fair. And then Macho, the real estate procrastinating game cat with a $2 tip, says the chat wants an impromptu 20 questions, Brian. Nope. I mean that's very specifically a Gamescast thing, and so I say let's make sure we do that on let's keep that special for Gamescast. I feel like even doing it 3 times a week is pushing the limit of that. Nathan's in the chat saying, "Did the State of Play start yet?" That said, I hope you guys are well. Wait, what? Did I miss something? Are people just getting notification now? What's happening? State of Play
seems that way, right?
Yeah, State of Play was great. But yeah, random guy, Far No Game Cat said, I absolutely love Here They Lie. I think we all do, man. That was such a surprisingly good PSVR 1 launch title. Guys, thank you everybody for hanging out here. We'll absolutely play some 20 questions tomorrow. So make sure you come back where Miles and I will be doing our regular Gamescast stuff. Hopefully before then, I'll have my Alvo review out, and that's kind of it. Wait, hold on. Burnsy8709 with a 5 pound says, playing Light Brigade. We can now hold guns without holding the back button and love it. The most underrated feature on the headset. All devs should add it.
A toggle grip now or something?
Maybe touch capacitive, sense, touch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think a lot more studios are doing that. Just click it once and rest your finger on it and you're good to go. Village did that. It was great.
Tiffany pointing out that IGN gave Here They Lie 4 out of 10. They obviously didn't get it. Most people don't, though, so I can't really ding them too much for that.
No. 4 out of 10. They probably made whoever reviewed it sick. They just reviewed Firewall Firewall Ultra. I mean, they gave it a 6 out of 10, which, as much as I love Ultra, I think that's a little generous considering the current state that it's in. My current score would be a 5, and I keep trying to get that review done, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I'll keep trying, but as they keep fixing it, my score keeps improving. So at least there's that. So, all right, Wes, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this special day. I love celebrating every state of play, every showcase. Again, every time somebody talks about PSVR2, it's a good thing because damn, dude, they don't talk about it nearly enough. So thank you, Wes, for being here with me. Thank you, everybody, for being here in the chat. Thank you, everybody who tipped during the show and keeps the lights on over here. We love you all so very much. Have a good night. We love you all.